I welcome those soon, my spiritual viewers and subscribers, to my 138th video of my YouTube channel Writer Sandhanam Speaks. It gladdens my heart to see some select comments and intelligent questions on the episode's meaning. I, within my limited understanding, have tried to answer the queries. Of course, understanding power varies from man to man. In matters intellectual, there are only two stages, clever and cleverer, and there is no the cleverest. Till the said cleverest is overtaken by the cleverer. Hope you understand it. This applies also to the metaphysics, a subject taken up now under Thirumoolar's episode 14. Metaphysics involves discussions, logic, and contradictions. Before that, let us explain the meaning of metaphysics. Meta in Greek is beyond. Physics, of course, is a phenomenal science experienced by our senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. Hence, metaphysics discusses about that subject beyond human senses, and it has been an ongoing discussion among the intellectuals for centuries, that is, from the dawn of human knowledge till date. Man became curious to know about the force that created the world and the universe, etc. Thus was born metaphysics, leading to differing opinions, differing religious and hair-splitting polemics. Now we are not talking about those non-sages, however intellectually superior they are. Here we are referring to the enlightened sages like Thirumoolar, who in their poems and conversations used metaphysics, trying to describe the indescribable. Buddha and Adi Shankara are two such other personalities. While Buddha, after explaining his Anubhuti or Anubhav or direct experience of nirvana, he refused to answer 14 questions, including on the birth of the universe and the universe maker, God. His silence is called the golden silence, implying silence is the ultimate wordless truth. So also with Adi Shankara, who with his sharp intellect won over his rivals and established Advaitam, which is also beyond description. The Sri Lankan scholar Ananda Kumar Swami says that Buddha never criticized Upanishad, but only its rituals, whereas Shankara was called by some as the disguised Buddha, within quote, Prachanna Buddha. The author adds, within quote, to know the best must be compared with the best. I hope you understand it. Supposing Buddha and Shankara had met, they would have shaken hands and agreed. How could anybody argue the sun is cool and moon hot? But in the name of metaphysics, there is conflict only among the followers and not among the enlightened gurus. You will not argue after Anubhuti descends on you, said the enlightened Sri Ramana Maharishi. Another sage, U.G. Krishnamurti, observed, within quote, this is the field of unteachability and I cannot share my experience and it has to be your own discovery. Quotation ends. Let us listen to the so-called illiterate sage Sri Ramakrishna. Quote, the bee makes lot of humming around the flower. Once it starts sucking the honey, it stops buzzing. Quotation ends. Once a Pandit a learned man visited Ramanashramam and spent the entire day among his listeners, in talking on metaphysics exhaustively. Next day, out of talk tiredness, pardon me for my new phrase, he kept quiet and rested in a corner of that room. Sri Ramana, on seeing him, commented with a smile, quote, "Our Pandit has become quiet like us." Quotation ends. Though not a sage, Shakespeare knew it. Quote, in Hamlet, this sentence comes from the mouth of Hamlet. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Quotation ends. With this long preface, let me take up today's poem of Thirumoolar. The poem runs like this. அறிவு அறிவு என்று அங்கு அரற்றும் உலகம். அறிவு அறியாமை யாரும் அறியார். அறிவு அறியாமை கடந்த அறிவானால் அறிவு அறியாமை அழகியவாறே. Translation. The world prattles, O knowledge, O knowledge. None knows what is knowledge and what is ignorance. If only one crosses these two barriers of knowledge and ignorance, intelligence will blossom into beautiful consciousness. Another Tamil sage, Sri Ramalinga Vallar, calls it as Ariyamal Arihindra Arive, meaning, O intelligence, you are beyond the knowing intellect. Yet another Tamil sage, Thayumanavar, sings, சொல்லும் பொருளுமற்று சும்மா இருப்பதற்கு எனக்கு அல்லும் பகலும் ஆசை பராபரமே. Translated, my desire is to be quiet without words and its meaning. Those familiar with Kena Upanishad should be knowing this statement. Quote, it is understood by those who do not understand it, but not understood by those who understand it. Quotation ends. Another Upanishad says, whomsoever it chooses, to him it happens. U.G. Krishnamurti, who generally never quotes but speaks from his Anubhuti, there is a direct experience, once said, quote, intellect is the only instrument you have, and once you know it is not the instrument to understand anything, there is no understanding. Quotation ends. Confirming our Thirumoolar's explanation through his poem that the ultimate truth is a personal experience, that is Anubhuti or Anubhav, beyond metaphysical discussion. Metaphysics only helps indirectly to indicate Brahman, Satchidanandam. One has to walk up to the railway station guided by the metaphysical map and wait for the Anubhuti train to take him to the destination. For some, the train arrives on time, but for some others, it is delayed. Hope my curious viewer is partially satisfied with my limited understanding on Thirumoolar's metaphysics, as I am no metaphysician. In fact, in a way, all his poems, Thirumoolar's poems, touch metaphysics. Meanwhile, I seek the indulgence of my viewers to allow me my freedom to wander around in the beautiful, poetic, spiritual garden of Thirumoolar and choose the honeyed flower of my choice for my succeeding episodes. Thank you.